Recording the audio. Perfect. Do in 5, 4, 3, 2. Take 3 middle fingers podcast today, August 26, 2021. I'm your host, Earnest, EJ Christian, alongside Mike Rainier, Joe Lopez. Late nights. Nice shirt, Mike. Buzz Lightyear?
Buzz Light beer.
Oh!
Barstool exclusive.
The bee's laying down, lazy. Couldn't tell. What's today's drink of choice?
Cider Boys Strawberry Magic.
Joe, what's up? What are you doing?
I'm barely up, so you got me though.
Yeah, get in the White Claw section.
I got you. It's been what 5 days, 6 days as of recording since SummerSlam. Still talk of the week.
I don't think we did another show.
I don't know. We haven't done a show since SummerSlam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's funny? We went insane on SummerSlam Day where we did 2 podcasts separately. CM Punk reaction, and then of course you guys did the NXT Takeover preview the same day, and then 5 days. But it's all good. We're here now. That's right. Let's talk SummerSlam real quick. I don't want to go through the match by match thing. I guess one thing else. Let's just start a discussion about what stood out to you guys about the show. What was your high points, your low points? I mean, we can go match by match, honestly, but I mean, there's some matches on this fucking thing right now that's not on the card here. For example, I am stunned. I'm looking at the SummerSlam card on the WWE fucking website, and they only have.
Stop using the WWE website for anything.
This is shocking. They know that it's trash.
No, it's not. It's not shocking. They half-ass everything.
Oh
yeah, the website has actually been reliable since like 1999.
Oh really? No. Well, the funny thing is, I never really used the WWE website for anything. That's the first time I was using it for results and shit. So
wait,
that was your first mistake.
Actually, be totally reliable, but you just don't know how to use the website.
No, well, I don't use the website normally. I just figured
definitely a user error.
Yeah, I feel like there's at least a 9/10 chance. If Mike or I went on our phones right now and tried to find the results on WWE.com, I bet we'd find it.
Maybe so.
I'm gonna guess that there's a 99.19% chance that it's sacrifice. Earnest is never gonna find the results.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know there was a pre-show match. I found out today that Big E and Baron Corbin fought pre-show.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
I did not. I got there late, and I didn't know it was on. I didn't even know that.
Those of us in the room at that time watched it. Your sons watched it. At least one of them.
No, I was still working at the time. No, but in hearing that there was a match, that was kind of smart what they did though, because it kind of gave the idea of, okay, well, Money in the Bank, Big E has the briefcase. Maybe he can use it tonight at some point. Who knows? It put your thoughts in the head. That
okay. So in the last 1 minute and 35 seconds, I've literally found the results on the WWE's website. So I'm going to use this because I used this word earlier and everybody got in their feelings. You're an idiot.
I get the results right now. Not a big deal. I got it.
I literally went to the website.
Find them.
On the WWE website? Okay.
Genius.
I use the app. So.
But you said the website.
Well,
website, moron. I'm done. I can't with this guy.
Same thing. App, website, same fucking thing. Right?
No, it's not.
No.
One of them is an application. The other one is www.www.com.
So right here says full SummerSlam results. Clearly, you don't get the full SummerSlam results because there's like
go to the website.
I'm just saying they lie to you.
Okay.
Just like you don't know how to fucking tell anyone that you're using an app and not a website, genius. Challenge accepted. I'm gonna go find them on the app just to fuck with them again.
I mean, I'm sure you're going to find them. I'm positive you're going to find them.
No, again.
I don't even think I have the app on my phone.
I don't know why I still have that on my phone, to be honest with you, because I feel like I haven't used it since the network fucking left. Let's just take it off now.
Yeah, that was the only reason I ever had it on my phone, too. And so I have Peacock on my phone.
Right. All right. Anyway, 6 minutes 35 seconds. Big E defeated Baron Corbin by pinfall. Like I said, I actually, in hindsight, 'cause I didn't know that this match even existed until literally today. Very smart. They actually put this match, even on pre-show, just kind of get the thought that maybe the Money in the Bank could be cashed in at some point tonight. Maybe.
I think you might be the only person, and you didn't even know that match happened, who thought that maybe that the Money in the Bank might get cashed in.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
All right. All right. Main show. In 7 minutes 5 seconds, RK Bro, Randy Orton, Riddle defeated AJ Styles almost to win the Raw Tag Team Championship.
Was that match really only 7 minutes?
Yep, only 7 minutes.
I feel like that's really short for an opening match. Am I crazy?
He almost got away with it.
Yeah.
Can I say, I want this thing to last to WrestleMania? This RK Bro thing? Let this shit fucking breathe for another 8 months.
No.
Yeah, I am on that. Don't let this shit.
Royal Rumble at the absolute latest.
No, Survivor.
I don't even think that long.
Split the Rumble, and then fucking make it the Mania match.
You split in like Survivor Series when they lose the titles, and you have them have a match at Royal Rumble. Is what I'm saying.
I feel like WWE.
Hey, now we're fucking rolling down this fucking show. I love it. Let's go.
Were, and then you had to interrupt us like an idiot.
Yeah, calm down, Friar Tuck.
I'm good.
All I'm saying is,
Friar Tuck?
Yes. All I'm saying is, I feel like WWE has never gotten the hang of the sweet spot, and by that, what I mean is, when you watch like the 80s wrestling, you know, you'd have these storylines that were able to last for like 6 months, 8 months, because you did one pay-per-view every 3 months. So you had all this time to build things, let them build out, go a year, whatever the case may be. Then you come to the 90s, where storylines used to last, if you were lucky, a month. Sometimes like one night, and then by the next Raw, it was just a totally different thing going on.
Yeah. That'll put asses in the seat.
Now we're in this place where you're still getting this weekly TV and the monthly pay-per-views, but the storylines, because of that, you can't have a storyline lasting a year, because when it does, it feels like it. You know, like when a storyline lasts, that's what I'm saying. Like RK Bro is awesome, and I love it. If they stretch it out between now and even the Royal Rumble, it's going to feel too stretched out. That doesn't have enough legs, in my opinion, for that.
See, it's September 1st. Survivor Series is normally like the second week of November. So if you have them retain the titles at Extreme Rules and whatever the pay-per-view is in between that, and then have them like start to break up, have them lose the titles at like the Saudi Arabia show, and have them full breakup in at Survivor Series. Okay, so then, you know, you go into that Christmas, there's not really a December pay-per-view that anybody gives a fuck about. You could have them have a match at that pay-per-view they're doing on New Year's Day in Atlanta, and then the blow-off and the go their own separate ways could be a match at Rumble.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally could see that. But that, to me, makes sense. Like, look, Homeboy over here was like, yo, let's get this all the way to WrestleMania, and there was no scenario where that was working.
Yeah, but
I also think Riddle...
He could beat Orton earlier in the night and then fucking...
Right.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, just quick question. What is so wrong with like a year-long, you know, feud? Didn't you enjoy seeing Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre every fucking Monday Night Raw leading up to a match and then fighting in a match?
No.
I don't see them. The RK Bro is phenomenal. It is awesome.
Yeah.
And like when Riddle first came out, I said to Mike, I'm like, who is this kid? Like, dude, he is the best. They should push the shit out of him.
So good, Craig, that I think he'll be in the title picture in the next 6 months.
I think he's a Final Four in the Rumble.
I think he wins the Rumble.
I don't know about that. But the thing is, you already gave him the U.S. title. Now you gave him the tag team title. He's just moving up.
Joe something to me ago.
Around the Saudi Arabia.
Real quick.
Definitely they're in a match at Survivor Series.
Joe said something about a month ago on the show that fucking got my wheels turning after that. He's the next Kurt Angle.
I mean, in some ways, he really is, yeah.
Would you say that the impending Matt Riddle Randy Orton feud would be the Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan feud of the 2022 year?
We're still doing this
Obviously.
shit. We're still doing this crap.
I mean, you're the genius that said it. Now you get to live with it, buddy.
It's definitely yes, absolutely.
Welcome to our award show where we're going to be crowning the Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff Feud of the Year award.
They get their own trophy.
Yes.
No, but no, seriously. Okay. Is it maybe it's been stretched out? Maybe I'm being a bit too greedy on wanting to, stretch all as possible. But I don't know. Like we thought this was done 2 weeks ago, and then
so you have Matt Riddle winning the title from Bobby Lashley. Is what you're telling me?
Not necessarily. I mean, I can see him. I see him in the picture. So.
Okay, he wins the Rumble. Who's he fighting at WrestleMania?
Well, let's see the redraft first. You have a draft coming out too, so we'll see how this thing looks.
Why do you have to worry about the draft? Tell me who he's fighting.
He's fighting Lashley, obviously.
Because he's not fighting at the table.
Or Lesnar.
I don't know. That's why I don't think he gets.
George Lesnarson.
No, Brock Lesnar. I can see Brock Lesnar also having a title next year too by Mania.
Brock has 8 matches over a year and a half. He ain't fighting Riddle.
Riddle gets squashed by all 3 of those guys. That's why I said this year he's only a Final 4.
Correct.
Because of the size of the champions.
Correct.
You're not going to
Riddle versus AJ Styles is a hell of a world title match.
Different story.
Yeah.
Even like Riddle, Orton, somebody along his size. You can't put him in it with Brock. Brock would just fucking suplex the shit out of him.
The only saving grace for Riddle against Brock is that he took him down and got him in like a leg bar. The same thing. Frank Mir beat him.
It's not worth giving him the push.
No.
If
to win the Royal Rumble to then win.
I also think you have to remember, if the rumors are true that they're taking NXT back in the direction of developing these like bigger guys and stuff like that, then why on the main roster are they in any scenario going to put a smaller guy into the world title scene?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see where this goes. Obviously,
I make dollars when you could make sense.
Yeah.
All right, 3 minutes 50 seconds. Alexa Bliss defeats Eva Marie by pinfall. Grizzling shits. What's there to say? The only thing really, honestly, Alexa Bliss is back in the title picture now, I guess, with Charlotte.
But hold on.
That's about it.
As much as you say that this was the drizzling shits, let's talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
The match went under 5 minutes. It advanced 2 storylines. Got Alexa Bliss into the title picture, and is going to get Doudrop into her own like separate thing. Like,
yeah.
For a match that had less airtime than U.S. Olympians walking to the ring and going, "Hi guys, look at us. We won gold medals in wrestling." Something that you guys don't care about because this is amateur wrestling and you guys are professional wrestling. Like, that segment took longer.
No,
and we're talking.
They're sports entertainment.
I'm sorry.
AEW is wrestling.
Okay. Fancy it up however you want to, lad. The fact that you had Olympians and Tiffany Haddish and Mario Lopez had more time than this fucking match. This was not the drizzling shit, sir. If you're going to cut something out of this fucking thing, and we'll get to it when we talk about it, because 3 Count, which I listened to today before the show, made a great point, and I agree with them about something that could have shaved numerous amount of time off of this show. So while you say that this is the drizzling shits, this may actually be the best women's match outside of that triple threat match.
So, okay, I'll say this.
Really?
Is it because of the end result? Is it because of the end result of what happened?
No, wait. I'll say this. I understand what Mike's point is, and I get it in terms of like it's good use for all these people and yada yada yada. I just don't enjoy any of what any of these people are currently doing. I hate what Alexa's doing right now. They took something really awesome and have kind of turned it lame. I don't need Eva Marie in any capacity. The only use that she really has is being an attractive woman, and that does me no good. And Doudrop should be awesome, but like they've put her in kind of a like it's gonna hopefully get her over, and then maybe she'll eventually be able to put on some real matches with some real wrestlers. But for now, I'm not excited for Eva Marie versus Doudrop. I'm just not.
Yeah, mine.
I actually don't hate what they're doing with Alexa.
Really?
Is it possible Alexa is going back? Is it gonna be back closer to normal? I guess, if you will.
Dude,
what makes you think that?
I'm just asking.
What is what I'm saying? What is the reason? Like, what is your reasoning for not liking what they're doing?
Me?
Right?
Well, Joe's the one that said that. So.
Not that it's not Bray. I don't know. There's just something about it that isn't like, it isn't connecting for me. It isn't as fun as it was.
My only thing that I'm going to say that to go against that argument, Bray left WrestleMania. Bray got released in July. We didn't say anything negative about it in the end of April, any of May, any of June, or the beginning of July. So at the end of the day, Bray Wyatt being released definitely has a bubble around the negativity to this because there's no payoff between her and Bray anymore.
I mean, it's also a fact, yeah.
It definitely bubbles around this. Now, if Alexa becomes Alexa and Lily peeks in from time to time, or something weird happens, or like somebody says a word and like it snaps her into it for like a match or something, and it becomes her like Demon Finn Balor, like cool, like I can live with her being back to being Alexa, and Demon Finn is Demon Finn. Josh Harrison just went.
I missed the goddess. I'm sorry. The goddess. Anyway.
Yo, Ernest, her shorts were the MVP of the show.
Say it again?
Her shorts were the MVP of the show.
All right, 13 minutes, 50 seconds. We got a new U.S. champion as Damian Priest defeats Sheamus.
That was a perfectly...
God is so much better as Damian Priest than Punishment Martinez.
Yes.
Sorry, that was our mandated.
It's required. Yeah. That was a perfectly serviceable match with two guys who are never going to go out there and steal the show, but put on a good enough performance in the role that they need to be. I liked it, but that's exactly what it is. Like, Sheamus is not the guy who goes out and has a 5-star match. Damian Priest isn't either, but he's a hell of a lot better now than he used to be. But you know what? Not everybody has to steal the show. Sometimes you just need to put on a good match when you're like third on the card, and that's just your job. So, like, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Can we just say that? Can we get Santos Escobar the U.S. title instead of either of these guys?
I don't even think... I love Santos Escobar. I think he's amazing. History shows me that he's not going to survive once he's on the main roster. He's just not.
No, but I'm kind of over the whole, like, we got to have big guys have all the belts kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's have a guy who's like 7'4" that like shoots fake arrows.
Yeah, he's gonna work on his time too. Yeah. His name is on fire on screen as he's pulling back the bow and arrow. He's gonna work on his timing.
Look, with any luck, you might get John Morrison as U.S. champion soon.
Yeah, he's not on the babyface. So,
can we bring in Jushin Thunder Liger?
I think he's retired.
No, we need more Liger.
Pretty sure he's retired.
Not dead though.
He's not dead. All right. Anyway, 10 minutes, 50 seconds.
I didn't ask for Eddie Guerrero.
Wow.
He'd be dead.
What? He's dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which one, Dynamite or British?
Either one.
That was nuts.
Closer.
That was nuts.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Anyway.
No, but and then you guys want to see if Owen Hart wants to drop in?
Wow.
Wrong.
Wow, dude.
Wrong.
You are the worst, Craig. That's fucked up, dude.
Hey, do you guys want to go hang out with Chris Benoit and his family?
Wow. Oh, God, Craig, you're the best.
Welcome to my group chats with this guy.
I'm just asking for friends, you know.
Anyway, 10 minutes, 50 seconds to SmackDown Tag Champs retain. The Usos defeat the Mysteriosos.
I'm surprised Craig didn't ask if he wanted to go do coke with Elizabeth.
Say it again?
Just like
I didn't hear
there. Like,
oh, shit. He said, I'm surprised you didn't ask if we wanted to go do coke with Elizabeth.
Anytime.
She's dead.
I would.
No.
Anyway,
smoked her kneecaps off.
Yeah.
We did get the breakup of the Mysteriosos or Mysterios, whatever the fucking name is today. I'm just glad I didn't win the match, dude. Seriously.
What was the time of this match?
10:50.
How long?
10 minutes, 50 seconds.
10:50?
Yeah.
Went about 7 minutes and 45 seconds too long.
Yeah.
Well, they have a intro, and he's got to.
No, that was from when the time the bell rang. That wasn't
from when the
Yeah.
bell.
Yeah, exactly.
The piggyback ride that Dominic gives his father.
No.
All right.
I've also said that I want Ray to turn heel because I want Ray to be the dad who just comes out with his belt midway through the match and it's like
Beats the shit out of his son.
just lays into him like the 4th of July.
And then his wife.
Who are you to do this?
And then wait, his wife comes down, and we can get stereotypical, and he beats his wife. You know.
Oh Jesus.
Or the wife turns heel, and while he's beating the son with the belt, she takes off her fucking chunkla and fucking throws it at him.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it.
Whoa.
I don't remember a thing about this match.
I don't either. I remember them losing. That's it.
It was the Savio Vega at the show. Let's move on.
Easily. Let's talk about it now. The Sasha Bianca match that didn't happen. Then instead brought out Carmella. Then instead brought out Becky Lynch's return to WWE. And of course the 28 seconds of weirdness. Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown champion.
Wait. What do you mean by weirdness?
Well, in the moment, it was all weird at the time.
Heel turn.
And then heel turn. And what's going on here? What the fuck? She got buried.
How was it weird, though? It made perfect sense.
It was in the moment. We could say it now 5 days later. And
it was surprising in the moment, not weird.
Both. For me, it was both.
Okay, but why is it weird?
Do you know what the word weird means?
It's the way it was executed more than anything else. But
if your wife walked in the room right now and smacked you with a fish, that would be fucking weird. Because that'd be like, where'd she even get a fish? That's weird, okay? If she came in right now and just smacked you, period, it'd be like, okay, that happened. I'm kind of shocked, but it wouldn't be weird. There's got to be a weird element. There was no weird element to Becky Lynch winning that way. It made perfect sense.
I will say 5 days later.
I enjoy that he has no counteract to that, by the way.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, damn, checkmate, you win.
He used fish. Oh, yeah, you win. Yeah.
Quick, Mike, ask Carol to text Lauren and see if she has a fish.
All right, I'll ask her.
Let's just make this happen.
I will say this much, though. 5 days later, now that I haven't had a chance to settle with this thing, and now we're hearing that Becky wants to turn heel, supposedly. This is what she wants.
God,
I'm just hoping we get a payoff on this. A nice story out of this. And
there's no way we're not going to get a payout. The only way we don't get a payoff off of this is if they move fucking Bianca over to Raw this week, and they already didn't because Raw already happened. So
right,
I'm pretty sure we're going to end up seeing something out of this.
Already happened.
Here's the whole thing too. Where does Sasha fit in all this now?
Okay, let's backtrack.
I'm thinking it was Sunday.
Let's backtrack. This could have been fixed and shaved about 22 minutes off of this segment by if they just announced that Sasha Banks isn't there and then they just let Becky come out. The unnecessary Carmella thing, and I get it. People are like, oh, they're trying to throw people off with a surprise. Guys, the only surprise that nobody saw coming was Brock. And that's solely because his name had not even been mentioned. Becky was coming back sooner or later.
Yes.
The minute that there was a rumor floating on Friday afternoon that Sasha Banks may not be cleared, the mindset was Becky Lynch. The night before, AEW basically let the fans know that CM Punk was coming without telling them that they were coming. They chanted his name for the first 6 minutes of the show before the music hit, and then when it hit, they got even louder. Sometimes knowing that it's coming and just letting it happen is okay.
That's a soundbite in itself, just for the record.
I don't care about
job, Mike. It's a good soundbite. It's a good soundbite, though. Just it's coming. Yeah.
When it comes crashing down, it hurts inside.
Wow. That's a good lyric. You should like that. You should make that into a song. You know what?
It'll be a hit.
Your brother.
All right, cool. I'll keep that flowing.
The only thing that I could think is that they did all of that just to kill time. Because what else would they have done? Added another 2 minutes to Rey Mysterio and his son and all that shit?
No. if you wanted to make it a really big surprise, you have Zelina Vega come down, because then they're thinking, all right, now we're getting a triple threat match,
Right?
And then have Becky come knock them two out.
I would have rather had Becky just walk out and been like, "I'm back, bitches."
Yeah.
Because then, what you could have really added time to was, all right, we don't need that. What was after that match? I don't even remember anymore.
I
The
think
Rollins title match.
Was it Edge Seth?
You guys forgot to talk about the amazing Shinsuke introduction and Pat McAfee, and then poof, Shinsuke's gone, no match. Like what?
Well, that was another one probably to just kill time.
Well, it was a good way to kill time.
I would have rather of them cut the show.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And the show at 12:15, not 12:30, 12:45, because you had to have
a long goddamn show.
You had to have Shinsuke, Rick Booge, and Pat McAfee all teabag Michael Cole.
Yeah, but when you're on the clock, you can go as long as you want.
You did with Xavier and
Oh yeah, Johnny Drip with the moisturizer 7000.
But okay, for argument's sake, what if it's in Michael Cole's contract to be, teabagged like once a year
by Pat McAfee?
Mora.
No,
that's Mike Johnson. That.
Okay, so what I want to say about the match itself, because we're gonna call it a match because it went 26 seconds.
Match, yeah.
It makes 150% sense.
Uh-huh.
The decision that they've made is the correct decision for multiple reasons, including the fact that Bianca Belair is better in the chase than she is as the champion.
Yes.
I think she was losing the belt regardless of who it was. The only way she was keeping it is if Becky was not ready to come back. And the only options would have been
Carmella,
Zelina Vega, and Carmella.
Yeah.
Which then I would have probably been like, have Rhea Ripley just be like, fuck it, I'm not wrestling in the triple threat match anymore, and have her come out and win the title.
Let me say real quick for the record. 5 days later, I don't hate it. I actually like it now. I'm actually more excited to watch SmackDown tomorrow night now because of what happened. Okay, so what's next? What's Becky's response and this and that? And I agree.
I think at the end of the day,
Valiant Chase. So I agree with you, Mike, on that one.
I think if nothing else, too, I like that it was only like a 26-second thing. I think you need that sometimes. You need to break the pace, and there needs to be those moments where there's a surprise like that. It happens in boxing. It happens in UFC. Not every fight goes the distance. Not every fight lasts for a long time. Some fights end in 26 seconds. So wrestling needs that occasionally, too. So I like that.
Yeah, so SmackDown tomorrow night. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Oh, no Pat McAfee. No, he has COVID, unfortunately. Anyway, he does. Yeah, he'll be out tomorrow. In 4 minutes, 40 seconds, Drew McIntyre defeated Jinder Mahal by pinfall.
I would have given this match 3 or 4 more minutes rather than having Carmella come out.
Needs more Shanky.
Well, they're banned.
Don't hinder Jinder.
Didn't they fight on Raw for the
first,
6 weeks in a row?
On Tinder.
Possibly.
Probably. It's Raw.
Yeah. Well, it is Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, baby, I like it.
This is a filler match, obviously. But, whatever.
Drew got to win.
It's not a filler match. The guy who carried your entire company through a goddamn pandemic, who didn't win at WrestleMania, needed to get some momentum going back. So he finished off a feud against a guy who doesn't need the win because he's too busy swiping on fucking Tinder. Come on, dude. Like,
who's a former WWE champion?
Was that now?
He's a former WWE champion.
Jinder Mahal's a former WWE champion.
Yes, he is. Well, I didn't watch him at the time, but
I mean, you missed greatness, obviously.
2016, I think.
Hold on. When did you stop watching again?
2002.
And you started again in
2019.
Whenever Hogan came back.
And you're so pumped for the CM Punk debut, you have never watched him fucking wrestle.
I watched him.
Can't see except we're dead soon.
Anyway, 13 minutes, 4 seconds. Triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defeated both Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley.
I actually thought this was a really good match.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either. I thought it was a decent match.
I would rank it as the number 2 match of the night.
Would really?
Yeah, I can actually see that argument. I thought it was a fantastic match, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably the better women matches that they've had in 2021, with the exception of the Sasha Bianca match at WrestleMania.
You're gonna hate when I say this, but I'll say it anyway. Let Charlotte hold it up a little while, just a little bit. Give some time to hold it. A couple months.
I would much rather she just go wrestle for AEW.
That's not gonna happen though, Mike. So why? I mean, at least not right now, anyway.
I don't care that it's not going to happen. Again, the whole conversation earlier. Opinion, my opinion. Let her go to AEW.
I mean, I'm not against that.
Do you think that there's any possibility that the only reason she even won the title is because of like, hey, we don't want her to go to AEW? Like, is this them trying to kind of like appease her, or do you think that they gave her the belt because they thought this was the right direction to go in?
Here's the thing: is this something that you really believe that could have been on the table at some point in the last few months? I mean, obviously,
her fiance is there, her father's there. Why not? Like, I mean, obviously she has a contract with WWE and all of that, but it's not impossible to get out of a contract, you know. Show up to work.
That you're going there as soon as your contract's over.
Right, exactly. Like, I mean, this is I'm just saying, I feel like there's definite possibility, because they've done this before. Didn't they do it with FTR? Like, the first time that the Revival were like, hey, let us out of our contract, they were like, no, but how about we give you the SmackDown tag team titles? Or the Raw tag team titles. It was one of them. So, like, it's not unheard of. And guess where they still ended up? So, I mean, you know. Plus, hey, we're the ones who on this very show, you know, 5 ever ago when we did our topic about, you know, what the AEW women's division needed to give it a spark. We're the ones that said they needed a big jump from WWE. Tell me who's bigger than Charlotte as a jump, other than like Becky or somebody who obviously isn't going anywhere.
Factual. Fair point. I'm just wondering if like is there something that is, you know, could be a real possibility next year or so that she just jumps ship. Say I'm a contract.
I think anytime her contract is up, it's a real possibility. I think right now, with the nature of the way things are going with AEW and stuff, anyone on that roster, there's a real possibility of them jumping ship when their contract is up. Hell, the way things have been going with, you know, them firing random people that when you don't even expect it, like, if you had told me at the beginning of the year that Bray Wyatt wouldn't still be working for WWE by now, I'd have told you were crazy. So, I mean, who the fuck knows?
Not for nothing, though. I'm actually kind of enjoying this Charlotte run this last few months. I don't mind it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I kind of like it.
Wait, so do you not mind it or do you enjoy it? Those are two very different things.
No, I enjoy it. I mean, I know Raw gets shit on a lot, but she's one of the few bright spots. Really,
I feel like she's like the overhyped Savio Vega of the women's division. She's there.
A lot of people over anyway, to be honest with you. And I've been hearing this for a couple of years now. So.
I was enjoying Nikki being a superhero and being a champion and having fun with her gimmick. Now we get Charlotte. Bow down to the queen.
She's very monotoned.
I don't steal opportunity.
I hate everybody.
Opportunity. Anyway. Match tonight, for me anyway, and probably for you guys, I'm sure too. 20 minutes, 15 seconds. Edge defeats Seth Rollins by submission.
Yeah, that match was awesome. That match was everything.
So glad we got it finally.
Yeah, you've really been clamoring for it since 2019.
Fuck you, man. Wait, no, I was thinking about this the other day too. Seth Rollins, like when it's all said and done, top 15 all time. Because god damn, dude, every match I watch of him, I mean, I'm sure there's bad matches here and there, but
I feel like when you get past top 5, it's like I'd have to sit down and actually make a list, and we all know I'm not going to do that, to figure out whether or not Seth Rollins is top 15 of all time.
Okay, so
I think he's fantastic, and I think I think for his generation of wrestlers, he's in the top 15, top 20.
Correct.
I don't know about all time.
No.
I don't know that, right? Because if you're talking all time, all of a sudden you're putting him up against Randy Savage. You're putting him up against Rick Rude. You're putting him up against Mr. Perfect, Texas Tornado.
Let's just rip it real quick. Hogan, Flair, Sting, Savage, Steamboat,
DiBiase,
Perfect, Harley Race.
Let me rephrase that question then real quick.
Steve Austin, Rock.
Hell, if we're going all time,
Thunder Liger.
If we're going all time, like fucking like Carl Gotch probably belongs on that list, and Lou Thez and
Minoru Suzuki.
Let me rephrase that question.
Misaharu Misawa.
Because wrestling, you need context, obviously. Would you put Seth Rollins in the top 15 workers all time? In-ring workers all time?
Kurt Angle, we just named Perfect, $1 Million Man, Steamboat, Randy Savage.
Because Hogan ain't in that fucking 15. That's the record.
Ric Flair.
Kobashi, Tao, a whole lot of people from Japan. No, look, again, I think that if you want to make an argument for Rollins being in his generation, a top 15 talent, 100% we'll give that to you. Top 15, top 20 for his generation. I think if you start to like expand the generations and go just all time, first of all, we couldn't even make an all-time list because there's so many wrestlers who are ridiculously famous that we've never seen because they were wrestling in like the 1920s. Like, you're aware of that, right?
Top 5 in-ring workers from his generation. Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson.
Yes. AJ Styles.
Yes.
Can we put Seth in that conversation, though?
I'll put Christopher Daniels ahead of him for his in-ring work.
Oh, I can see the argument. Honestly, low-key can get into that conversation. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys. But I think Rollins at least is top 20 in that conversation. I'll give you that.
Well, big win for Edge. Edge needed to win, obviously. I couldn't see him losing another fucking match. I mean, he started the year great, winning Royal Rumble. Then he fucking loses. Not just loses at WrestleMania. He loses the 1-1 matchup, first off. Because Dan Bryan turns to the third guy, then gets pinned on top of fucking Dan Bryan and Roman, and then loses to he needed
Edge needed a win here because it's the Goldberg effect, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to have these legends obviously putting people over, but at some point if they're not winning matches ever anymore, then them putting everybody over actually becomes useless. So you got to win one or two here or there.
Goldberg, Bill.
Exactly. Like at this point, I'm sorry, but like
beating Goldberg
hardly matters at this point.
I mean, it sucks that he went over Bray Wyatt, but at least he's won a match in the last 2 years.
Right.
Speaking of Goldberg,
can we talk about the most important thing about this match, though?
Which one? The Edge match?
Yes.
Okay.
They changed the finish from the spear to a submission, so it made Roman's spear look better at the end of the night.
Oh yeah. I'm more than sure of that too.
Edge's finishing maneuver is a spear. What did Roman Reigns beat John Cena with? A spear.
Yeah.
One singular spear, which we'll talk about whenever we get to that match. But think about that. They changed the finish to protect Ting Tang Walla Walla Bing Bang.
100%.
We're getting there. One match away from that. Speaking of Goldberg, 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Bobby Lashley. Was that?
What?
No, I'm saying 7 minutes. I'm laughing at the amount of time this fucking match went on, actually. I can't believe it. 7 minutes, 10 minutes. 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Bobby retains over Goldberg via referee stoppage.
You can't believe how long this match went.
7 minutes, 10 seconds. That's long.
What do you mean you can't believe it?
Went too long. 7 minutes, 10 seconds.
I don't think it went too long. I think it went the fucking right amount of time. What went wrong in your head was that you thought the fucking Bobby Lashley should have came out and squashed Goldberg.
Which he kind of did to a certain degree, to be fair, too.
To an extent, but not to Earnest's pleasure because he wants to see him, like, kill Goldberg. But guess what? If he does, then he's going to jail for fucking life with no possibility of parole.
Yeah.
So, this match went about what it needed to. It could have went another minute or two longer and it wouldn't have been the end of the fucking world. I mean, everybody wants to keep sitting here and like, oh, it's Goldberg. I want to see your 54-year-old ass go in the ring and do something like that, you geriatric fucks. When we're all 54, we're going to be drinking 6 packs of beer, complaining about our back hurting. This guy's out there fucking wrestling for 7 minutes, fucking throwing spears and fucking eating spears, getting put in fucking submission holds. And we're like, oh, he's too old. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah, no, none of us know what the fuck we're doing if it comes to wrestling. But hey, you know, we're armchair quarterbacking this thing.
I mean, to be fair, even when he was young, he had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
Buddy, you want to see Bray in the ring? Turn on Dynamite in like fucking a month. We'll be there.
Did you see the thing with CM Punk?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, sure, you'd rather him be there than Goldberg. But again, who says that Bray wanted to be there? A lot of things we don't know about what happened with that situation. Because it wasn't like Bray was a big name and a big bunch of cuts. It was, here's the release.
Yeah.
Normally when it's one guy, it's like, hey, you want to do this anymore? Not with you guys. We'd really like to not have to pay you and save some money while we can. All right, cool. It's just it's been real this month.
Normally, actually, to be fair, normally when it's like one guy, it's because he like fucking
Fill the wellness policy.
Ran his car off of a bridge and like a prostitute died or some shit.
Yeah. Let's see. It's domestic violence, it's wellness policy violations, or like murder.
Yeah.
You can have 1 million DUIs and still be a tag team champion.
That's what happens. You know, it helps when you're
related to Roman.
That's the head of the table.
Yeah.
You guys make,
they're not firing anybody of the Uso family because then fucking Roman will leave.
Brock is under contract for roughly a year and a half.
8 matches.
8 matches. Wow.
What do you make of Goldberg's kid coming into the ring and trying to save dad, and fucking Bobby Lashley said, fuck them kids and put them in the fucking...
I mean, he can't be any worse than Dominic Mysterio, right?
Right.
Bobby Lashley should be fired.
Yeah, but I want to see Goldberg's kid give him a piggyback ride to the ring.
I feel that Bobby should be fired for abuse on a child.
Kid's 15. He's fucking jacked.
Well, keep your ass out of the fucking ring. God damn it.
Don't fuck up my 52-year-old father, you geriatric fuck.
Well, who told him to put on the fucking match? I'm next. Well, fuck you.
Okay, let's backtrack then real quick. Goldberg doesn't show up. Who's fighting fucking Bobby Lashley for the title?
Drew.
Can't. He also matched where he can't fight for the title anymore.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Storyline.
I got it. Anyway, last one.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
What?
Who would he fight it? Who would Bobby Lashley fight for the world title?
Well, who's he going to be fighting at Extreme Rules?
That's a good question. Probably Goldberg again. I don't know. Or maybe I Saudi Arabia Goldberg again. I don't know.
Priest.
Oh, God.
Champion versus champion. Fuck it.
All right. Whatever. All right.
We're really bringing a lot to the table here tonight, guys.
Yeah, we're doing a good job.
Yeah, day job. It sucks. I'll see you guys later.
Later, dude.
Later, buddy. Last match, 23 minutes even. Head of the table retains. Roman Reigns defeats John
Wait,
Cena.
this match really ended in 23 minutes exactly?
Exactly. Yep.
That's crazy.
That's what she said.
I think, didn't we all 3 pick Cena to win this match?
Yeah.
And
And then,
it was also before SmackDown when Roman put a really dumb stipulation where if I lose, I'm never coming back.
showed his hand right there. It's like, yep, never mind. Ain't happening. Great match, though.
I thought it was pretty good, yeah.
Nice psychology. Roll-ups and fucking shit of that nature.
I've said it before, I'm still a little over Roman Reigns with his, like, slower paced wrestling. I get it. I think it worked better when there was no crowd. I still feel like that. I feel like, because, like, him talking into the camera.
23-minute matches feel like they're 45.
Huh?
His 23-minute matches feel like they're 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, exactly. It
Oh, yeah.
Concert I went to where she did like 90 minutes worth of material stretched over 3 hours, and it somehow felt like a day and a half.
What I will say here,
Mhm.
there's some things I didn't like. First off, one spear.
Only one spare?
John could have eaten at least 2 or 3.
Can you spare a spare?
I mean, we let fucking Bill Goldberg basically take 2 or 3 from Bobby Lashley and eventually pass out to a submission move.
Yeah.
John could have taken 2 or 3 and been just fine. Number 2. 937 different attitude adjustments, including one off of the top rope. One through the announce table.
Yeah.
And one spear did in John Cena. I get it. Roman's the head of the table. He is the dog. He is the draw. He is whatever the fuck you want to call him.
His teeth bother me.
Bar soap.
Yeah, they're just too fake looking.
Yep. So my thing here is the conversation that we've had has always been, oh, okay, well, Roman doesn't need the title. Now
Right.
the question is there anybody on the roster that could take the title off of Roman?
Besides, like, Brock.
No.
Sure. He's the only one right now.
What was Roman? One of the things against Brock. Some
Wait.
shit?
I didn't actually hear what you said, but my question's better anyway. Do you think that they're blowing this too soon? Do you think that should have been the WrestleMania match, Brock and Roman?
No,
No,
I think the main event of WrestleMania should be Brock versus, or not Brock. It should be Roman versus Bobby.
Really?
Yes, I think Bobby should drop the title to Big E on a cash-in. I think Bobby should move to SmackDown on the draft. Bobby should chase after fucking Roman, go through the Usos, do whatever, and then you get them at WrestleMania after Bobby wins the Royal Rumble and Bobby then picks Roman Reigns.
So you would turn Bobby face?
Correct.
I don't.
I love that.
Very intrigued by that.
Because Bobby's the only believable person on that roster right now that's a full-time wrestler that I think could beat Roman Reigns.
What if that's the direction they're going, though? Like, what if that's the reason why they have Bobby Lashley beating all these guys the way he's beating them? Because you're building to something there. I mean, you would think.
That's what I'm saying. So you could have Big E be on Raw. You could move Bobby Lashley to SmackDown. I'm sorry, Raw is being the A show for 937 fucking consecutive years. It's not anymore. SmackDown's the most important show.
It hasn't been since at least Reigns won the title. They've positioned SmackDown since SmackDown got onto Fox.
That's
Yeah.
what do you need to do? You need to put your fucking people on there. Who's on there? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar,
Yeah.
and Bobby Lashley.
Like,
Okay, make it in a baseball mindset. SmackDown is the majors, Raw's AAA, NXT is AA. Move them up through it that way.
Like, honestly, if you even think about it, both of the big returns from SummerSlam were SmackDown. Yeah, like, we got no follow-up on Raw from either of those things because they didn't happen for Raw. They happened for SmackDown.
And let's look. Current U.S. champion just got called up from NXT within the last 6 months.
Yep.
Half of the tag team champions, former member of the NXT roster that called up about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
A veteran that you could move over to SmackDown in one Bob Lashley, and you could leave Randy Orton there to play the Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa role that you're going to have them play on the NXT roster.
Right.
Like, they're there to help draw house shows while also working with these new people that we're trying to have learn the style that we want them to wrestle.
Right.
So, like, if you make SmackDown like let's be transparent here. SmackDown, AEW, Raw, Impact, NXT, like MLW.
And I think in a very short amount of time, NXT is going to probably be a lot further down that list too.
Sure, they're like Beyond Wrestling, like where it's like, oh, people are trying to catch a break here or something like that. Like,
yeah,
like, but what I'm getting at is you could do it in tiers and make it work.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like, you could have it being like, okay, those 30-year-olds that are still trying to find the style but know enough of it. Okay, let's put them on Raw.
Yeah.
Those young guys, leave them on NXT. The guys who are crushing souls, here you go. Put them on SmackDown. Put them
I
on
don't like that at all.
And I mean, the thing is when you look at it from that perspective, okay, so just real quick, the women's division on SmackDown, Charlotte, Bianca, Sasha, Becky, Rhea, Nikki. Those 6 women make a hell of a lot more sense in one division than 3 of them in one and 3 of them in the other, and then we have to try to like square peg round hole. But then on Raw, you could have your Shotzi, Tegan, Tamina, Natty, Eva Marie, Doudrop.
Maybe you leave like Asuka there to be like
Sure.
the veteran woman.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shotzi and Tegan and everyone can then feud for the tag titles.
Yeah, yeah.
The veteran, you can move up a couple people from the NXT roster if you need to fill spots. Like hell, you could bring up Frankie Monet right now and she'd be just fine on either of those rosters. She'd be a breath of fresh air.
Agreed.
So I mean, you know what? I literally might. You guys might have homework to do this week because my topic next week very well may be put the WWE roster in a fucking hat and fucking give me your 25-man SmackDown roster, your 20-man Raw roster.
That's when you said that. I was actually going to make that a topic in a couple of weeks. Do like almost like a draft.
Not really a draft because I don't want people to have. I want you to put the people that you would have in each one. I don't want us to be like, oh, I was going to take Asuka there. Like, I want you to be like, okay, of the Raw and SmackDown roster and the NXT roster, if you want to use NXT, I think we should use NXT because I think NXT is going to get a big shakeup.
Yeah.
Put them. These guys are on Raw. These guys are on SmackDown. These guys are staying in NXT. These guys are getting released. Like, you could even do a release. Like, who you think's fucking excess weight that you don't even need there anymore. Or these are the guys that are going to go down to NXT to be the veterans to lose to these up-and-coming guys.
Right, right.
Like you could do it that way. I think that, yeah, we're going to have some homework because I think that's going to be the topic either next week or the week after.
Cool.
Real quick before we go, Lesnar returns after the match. So
don't you mean Bjork Lesnarson?
I'm not feeling the fucking ponytail. Sorry.
You wouldn't tell him that to his face.
Of course not.
Exactly.
You're jealous because you can't grow one.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, a little bit too. And you know, I get it. You know, we're brave.
Yeah. Bjork Lesnarson is the new name of Brock Lesnar on 3 Count. I was laughing hysterically when they said that.
I will give them credit. They pulled off a surprise with that one.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that one coming.
Nobody saw that one coming.
Not,
and it's
not
hard to pull off a surprise in this day and age in wrestling.
Yeah. Not on Saturday. Brock come back, not a surprise. Brock come back on Saturday.
Even Becky's return, like, you knew it was coming eventually.
Right.
There was a real talk that Brock wasn't coming back.
Right.
That he was more than content to sit his ass in the fucking North Dakota, Canada woods and not do a goddamn thing.
And wasn't there at one point there was a report and someone was like, I forget who, it might have been like Sapp or someone. It was one of the ones who isn't the most reliable. But there was a report where it was like, oh yeah, Brock is in contract negotiations and it's not with WWE for sure. It might not even be a pro wrestling company. Like, yeah. Ooh, that definitely came out as a report in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And yet here we are. He's in WWE again. So
still and all, babyface.
I don't know that necessarily Brock Lesnar needs to be a heel or a face.
No, he doesn't. He just needs
Brock
to be
Lesnar. Just needs to be Brock Lesnar. He needs to be an ass-kicking machine.
Yeah.
I need a Paul Heyman on a pole match.
Shark Cage.
Shark Cage. Oh, that's fine.
Am I asking real quick? Am I asking for too much if I want? Let me finish.
No. Yes, the answer is yes.
What am I gonna say?
Doesn't matter. The answer is always yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Am I asking too much? Yes.
Am I asking that I don't want that because eventually it will happen. Make that match a Survivor Series.
No. If they were going to make that match at Survivor Series, Brock Lesnar would have returned at the end of whatever the September pay-per-view is.
If Brock Lesnar was going to be the opponent for Survivor Series, Brock Lesnar would have actually had contact with Roman Reigns. He would have suplexed him. He'd have done something.
True.
Because I still think this year's Survivor Series is going to be SmackDown versus Raw.
Again?
I mean, that they always do that.
Is that always? Is that like?
I mean, they used to have a pay-per-view named Bragging Rights. At least they got rid of that and are just actually using the pay-per-view that they should be using for that.
And honestly, it's a good use of the pay-per-view too, because it is. You know how you were talking about earlier about extending out storylines and making things last longer?
That's what I was saying.
You do it.
Like, oh yeah, RK Bro loses the title in Saudi Arabia. They're in a tag team elimination match, and there's a malfunction, and Riddle accidentally knees Orton. Orton gets eliminated. It's Riddle versus the Usos.
Yeah.
Usos go to beat him. Orton, flat, bam, RKO. Usos win. SmackDown wins the tag team eliminator. Now you have fucking Riddle versus Orton as a feud going into fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a good use of that pay-per-view.
It's good because it's the one night that the storylines could be suspended, but expanded at the same time, and it's not hurt by having another match between whatever the feud is for the 4th month in a row.
Plus, we got an entire month of wrestlers in their brand-colored shirts showing up on the other show, and we all love that.
That's where the man was born, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Anyway, that's your SummerSlam recap and all that. It's now time for after the week off for trivia.
Hold on, I gotta open up the spreadsheet.
Fucking spreadsheets. Anyway, my turn to present. So Mike and Joe, you guys go against each other. I got a feeling both of you guys gonna get this. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you fix your soundboard? It sounds so much better tonight.
Yeah, I got new headphones in one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. The headphones. Remember last week I was kind of frustrated with shit. It was because the headphones kept cutting out. That's why I couldn't do the audio the way I wanted.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I got new headphones.
Better duct tape.
Factual. Anyway, since CM Punk is all the rage these days, here's a trivia question of the week. So obviously CM Punk was his last appearance was at the 2014 Royal Rumble. He was eliminated by this guy at the Rumble. All right, and go. Come on, what's up? Music at? There we go. Once again, CM Punk's last appearance with the WWE was at the 2014 Royal Rumble. He was eliminated by this guy. So, what do you wager, Mike?
I'm going to wager 300.
You got this, man. Joe?
I'm only going to wager 100. I'm not confident in my answer.
Okay.
I gotta move Earnest to 700 that he has in the other column.
Am I getting a stimmy this week?
No. You're not going to stimmy, you're at 0.
I want a stimmy.
I'm going to get there first.
Probably. All right, Mike, what's your answer?
Who is Kane?
Joe?
I don't remember if he was even in this Royal Rumble match, but it would have been the direction that they would have gone in for WrestleMania, so I'm going to go with who's Triple H.
Mike is correct again. It was.
Damn.
That's got to be Kane.
Yeah.
All right, updated Jeopardy point total. I have 2,100.
Fuck, I want to hear this shit. Who gives a fuck? You winning? Yes, you're winning.
Joe has 600. Ernest has 700.
Yeah.
Joe, you're on the question.
Hell yeah.
Let's please. Good God. Let's pivot.
Someone's angry that they don't know trivia.
Well, I was not this week.
Would you have known that if we had asked that question?
Honestly, no. I didn't watch. Still filling the blanks, man.
I do feel like Kane is always a good guest, though, for who got eliminated by somebody in Royal Rumble.
The blanks. You can't keep filling the blanks with the 2020 Royal Rumble, asshat. You got to watch something else.
Well, I don't only watch 2020 Rumble. I watched the
20. Or the 1989 fucking Saturday Night's Main Event.
88. Sorry. Get it right. If you're going to make fun of me, get it right, okay? Get it right.
Recaps before. What the fuck?
All right. I think...
Michael,
your topic.
Michael.
Are you going to steal any more of Jim's sound bites?
That's not his soundbite. That's my soundbite.
Okay.
He doesn't use that.
Whatever you say, Chief. All right. So all the rage in professional wrestling right now is at the company based out of Jacksonville, Florida. They had a lovely performance at the United Center in Chicago on Friday night, where it was the homecoming for one Phil. Phil came out. Fans loved it. Fans ate it up like a spoon. Phil went away. Rest of that show was hot garbage.
Who's Phil? Phil Donahue? Phil Sims?
Phil Jackson, motherfucker.
Phil Jackson, motherfucker? The fucking Phil. Philip Banks?
So at the end of the day, cool. CM Punk showed up. We got a cool little moment with that. Crowd got to cheer. Rest of that show, hot trash. Just want you guys to understand that. Hot garbage. But hey, we popped that rating at the start of the show because Phil came back. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you, bud.
It was a mess show, to be honest. Yeah.
That show was god awful after fucking Phil walked off.
No one give a fuck. That's why.
All right. So with that being said,
after that, personally,
and our confusion at some of the things that AEW has done in the last couple weeks, my question for you here, guys, tonight is: are you excited about the upcoming All Out show? And if you are, what excites you about the show?
So, okay, I'll go first because Ernest didn't. So for me, I'm excited in the sense of I enjoy getting to see more AEW. That's the main reason why I'm excited for the show. Anytime there's another chance of another big card, look, I'm not tuning in for Dark. I'm not tuning in for Elevation. But, you get me with a card that's a decent card, and I'm excited for it. The reason that I'm not excited for All Out, and I'm not as excited as I thought I would be, especially considering at this point it's only 2 weeks away, is that it feels like they're phoning it in a little bit. It feels like they're resting on their laurels and Hardys, and they're just kind of like, okay, I think we were saying this last week on the show. Okay, people are going to order this because they're fans of our company and they're going to order it. We don't have to do anything special to sell this show. That's what it kind of feels like. And the case in point that you can really point to is the fact that 2 of the top matches on the show are matches that we've already seen in the past couple of weeks on Dynamite. And at the end of the day, when WWE would do this and does do this, everybody shits on them for it. Everybody gives them a hard time when it's like, oh man, we just saw Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley wrestle 2 weeks ago on Raw. Why are we seeing them wrestle again on the pay-per-view? And that's a valid complaint.
It is.
But now AEW is doing it. Like, why are we getting MJF and Chris Jericho again on the pay-per-view? If the plan was always to just do their match on the pay-per-view, then why did you ever have them have a match on Dynamite? Why was that
the fifth flavor of Jericho should have been an actual another person?
Exactly.
I agree, 100%. We thought it was actually. We all assumed it was actually at one point, but
and there were so many things you could have done with that. You could have made it Sammy. You could have made it Jake Hager. You could have made Jericho have to beat one of his own people, or you could have made it one of the other members of the Pinnacle. You could have done a million things with that. You could have dusted off another legend. You could have brought in another indie sensation like Nick Gage or whatever. You could have done a million things. Huh?
You could have had him fight Danhausen.
Yeah. You could have done a million things with that. Instead, you had him fight MJF. You had him lose to MJF. And now you want me to pay $50 to see them have another match. And I'm like, but you've already given me that match and it was for free. Why am I watching this match again? Like, the excitement that should have been there for an MJF and Chris Jericho match is not there anymore. They blew it. They blew that.
I wonder if they don't do that if CM Punk wasn't in the picture.
I don't understand the correlation.
Like, if CM Punk wasn't involved right now, maybe that match is, maybe they don't do this, the Jericho MJF match at Dynamite. In other words,
I don't know. Again, Joe, can you figure out the correlation here?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't see the connection. What are you saying?
Number one, I do agree with you. It's kind of resting on laurels now because I think they're putting all their eggs in the CM Punk basket. Oh, we're gonna get $50 anyway because CM Punk's on the card. That's it.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that they basically were like, look, we're gonna get people's $50 because we're gonna get people's $50. I don't even think that Punk was part of the factoring in on that. I mean, look, of all the matches on that card, the Punk Darby Allin match is actually probably the most intriguing match.
Right.
Because we haven't seen Punk wrestle in forever. Darby Allin's hella fun to watch wrestle. Those two are gonna it's going to be an interesting clash of styles, I feel like, between those two. Sting is going to be at ringside. We might get to see Punk and Sting go face-to-face, which I don't know. I'm excited about that possibility.
Right.
Like,
I do
in a
think
lot of ways, that match is probably the match I'm most looking forward to right now. I'm not looking forward to Omega and Christian. There's nothing about that match that I'm looking forward to because, again, we've already had that match. We already saw that match like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And hell, this Friday night on Rampage, they're going to be in a tag match against each other again. So they're not doing anything to keep these guys away from each other. There's no mystery there. There's nothing intriguing about Christian and Omega against each other. We know how these guys work together. We know the possibility of what's going to happen. And I don't think anyone in their right mind thinks that Christian's going to win the AEW World Title. I don't. I think that all of the storyline that they built between Omega and Paige was why they should have gone in that direction. And granted, you had your reason for not going there. You had, because of the fact that Adam Page's wife was about to give birth or whatever the case may be. Fine.
Fight for the title.
Right. Exactly. Like, don't give me 6 weeks of that storyline being the focus and then just pull it away and be like, LOL, here's
well, that's just it too.
3 weeks.
Because everything you said, I agree with. Like, ultimately, I feel let down because of the fact that we're not getting that match. That was supposed to be the coronation of Hangman Page.
And there's a lot of things they could have on this card. Like, honestly, look, if you're gonna do this little storyline with the Dark Order, where like they're having infighting right now, then give me a match with like Alex Reynolds and John Silver against Uno and Dos.
Right.
Yeah. Give me that tag team match. It doesn't need to be the end of the Dark Order. It doesn't need to be that like, oh.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you can make it like all Dark Order. You could have 5 and 10 team up and be like, get it out of your fucking systems.
Exactly. Hell, have Adam Page show up at the end of the match and be like, guys, like, pull it the fuck together. Like, come on. Like, you could do something with that. And guess what? I don't know about you, but I mean, Mike, I think I know about you. The idea of Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus Uno and Dos is a great fucking match.
Oh, absolutely.
That is a great match that they're just like missing out on. Huh?
Super Smash Brothers versus the Beaver Boys?
Exactly. That match would be awesome. And why we're not getting that is beyond me. Because we're getting QT Marshall and Paul White. That we're getting. And then how many guys are not on this card right now? Like, how is Malachi Black not on this card?
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense either.
Who would he wrestle?
I don't even know. That's the problem.
There's no one there for him to wrestle.
No, and you're right, but there should be.
Sure. But are we looking at a grander issue with AEW?
Where they have a lot of guys who they're building up all at the exact same time, so you can't have them fight each other?
Yeah.
That, you have a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of top guys.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So you have a lot of guys who you're building to be the top guys, but you're building them all up at the exact same time. So you can't have them beating each other because then that, inherently
starting to become
some of them not filled.
But then the matches are also starting to become unbelievable because you're like, oh, we got to build up Darby. We got to build up this guy.
Right.
Build up this guy. Okay, so who's losing to him? Scorpio Skies, the Ethan Pages,
Right.
No one is ever going to believe that Ethan Page or Scorpio Skies is going to win a feud because they're 0 for 937 against Darby Allin.
Yeah.
You've now killed them to build the next guy.
Right.
I mean, to be brutally honest with you, you know how Malachi Black should end up on this show?
Rusev? I'm sorry, Miro?
No, it should be him at the end of the show showing up with a guest or two to go after the Elite.
I'd be down for that.
Him and maybe the best kept secret in wrestling right now, Buddy.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Him, Buddy, and maybe another guy or two, and okay, now you have somebody to feud with the Elite. Because everyone's going to cheer Malachi Black.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be a face. He could be the Brock Lesnar. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, that is kind of his character anyway. It really is.
So you have him as the leader with 3 or 4 guys following. You have the Elite. Cody comes back, and it's like, well, I don't like you. I used to like you guys, but we don't get along right now.
Right.
So what do I do? Like, do I go back with them and to fight him, or do I just do my own? Like, so it brings in like, oh, there's something that could be drawn from here.
Right.
What's the next step for when Cody comes back? Oh shit, this is something we could actually build with.
While we're talking about disappointing matches on this card, I never thought I'd actually use the words disappointing and this man in the same sentence.
Ooh, hold on, let me guess. Yeah.
Let me guess. Who was it?
What?
Who?
It's Kojima.
Oh, Larry.
I was going to say Moxley match. I was going to say that.
Look, that match is so disappointing that when Jon Moxley announced it, he sounded disappointed. Like, that promo was literally him being like, yeah, so I'm fighting Kojima, I guess. All right, that'll be good, I guess. Like, they set up.
If you're going to try to get Kojima on the show, you know how you get Kojima on the show? By sending over Hiroshi Tanahashi to take on Lance Archer in an IWGP US title match on the same show.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. When they had Moxley do the whole open challenge thing in New Japan, and they had Tanahashi send a video where he was like, oh man, I can't wait to wrestle in AEW one day, yada, yada, yada. Like, you teased us. You teased us with Tanahashi, and then you gave us Kojima. And I love Kojima. I fucking love Kojima. Lariat. I fucking love Kojima.
Lariat.
Right. He is awesome.
That CM Punk Samoa Joe.
Yes. Everything. But that's the thing. Like, I love Kojima, and he's awesome. But 2 problems with it. Number 1, you made us think we were getting Tanahashi, and then you gave us Kojima. That's not equal. Not in the year 2021. That is not equal. That was equal in the year 2011. Maybe 2009 more factually. Even I'll give you like 2011, 2012. Not 2021. That's not the same thing. Number 2, Kojima literally wrestled on an Impact pay-per-view like 2 months ago. One of the like Impact Plus exclusive ones, no less. So you know what? Like, you're not exactly giving us something special here. No offense. And at the end of the day, too, they even have a bunch of New Japan guys that are stateside at the moment that you could have brought in. Give me Jay White. Give me fucking Will Ospreay. Give me one of these guys if you're going to not give me Tanahashi. But I don't know, Kojima, it's really lackluster at this point, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, plus you get the QT Marshall against fucking Paul White.
I mean, look, even the women's match with Britt Baker against Chris Statlander, on paper, sounds like it's going to be awesome because we know that both women are fantastic in the ring. So, yeah, like that sounds like it's going to be a great match. But you've had since, when was the last pay-per-view? June?
May.
So you've had since May to build up feuds and storylines for this next pay-per-view. And somehow the women's title match at this pay-per-view has only started to be built 2 weeks before the pay-per-view.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Buddy, I'm going to try to break this down for you, all right? CM Punk broke the internet. I will agree with it. They don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. Their build for the last couple weeks has been Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Phil is here. Phil takes on Darby. The only match on this show that makes any fucking sense.
Pretty much.
You have a tag team ranking that you've now determined that you're going to determine who the number one contenders are via a tournament to then wrestle a steel cage match with approximately 1 week of build.
Yeah. 0 heat.
Britt Baker, Chris Statlander. Great match. No reason.
Yeah.
No build. John Moxley versus Kojima was announced 2 days ago.
Yep.
No build. MJF versus Chris Jericho for the third time and 1 week after their last match. Kenny and fucking...
If they've not done MJF and Jericho on Dynamite, you would have me excited for that match.
And that match would be the match that I'd close the show with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it would give you the real feeling that Chris Jericho may never wrestle again.
Right. That's a good question. Now, what at this point, what do you close this show with?
The steel cage match.
Really?
Just because I know who won.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because they taped Rampage. I'm not going to
spoil. And know who won. I think it'd be the better match.
Okay. Because that's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, the match that we're all most excited for, it sounds like, isn't a match you're ending the show with. You're not closing with Punk and Darby.
No, I don't.
Punk and Darby, frankly.
Yeah, I would probably open with them.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to get a lot of CM Punk chants randomly throughout the show.
Yeah. And, like, why aren't we even getting, like, the Team Taz stuff on this pay-per-view?
Because nobody can deal with the heat from Absolute Ricky Starks.
I don't know.
I will tell you this much. I'm not the full, like, I like AEW. I'm not sitting here waving the flag like the two of you are. But this pay-per-view does nothing for me. This is the worst pay-per-view that they've strategically booked.
It's an over-glorified Dynamite episode, pretty much.
But let's talk about that for a minute. And here's the thing. You just said the key thing. Overhyped Dynamite taping. If WWE pulled this, we'd be having a debate about it being the same old shit, and Vince has lost his touch, and Vince doesn't know what the fucking fans want, and fuck Vince McMahon, he needs to retire, he needs to do this. Tony Khan booked a super show 2 years ago and sold out the fucking Sears Center.
Yeah.
Chicago is the easiest place for them to sell out, not named Jacksonville.
Yep.
At the end of the day, this is the absolute worstly built fucking show that they've done ever.
I do think the Punk stuff probably distracted them, if you will.
Well, you can't let one guy distract the entire company.
I'm just saying that, but they did. You can't let it. I agree with you, but they did. At least the optics.
But Christian and Kenny happened before Punk showed up.
Mm-hmm. And here's my thing. I'm not even mad at Christian and Kenny as a match.
Not at all.
But if that was the
We've already seen it.
But if that was the direction you were gonna go in, then you should have been building that for the last 6 weeks instead of
Correct.
building
They got-
Paige and Omega and then just
They
pulling
have-
it.
They have so much shit going on last month. They had the Rampage debut. They got the Punk reveal.
Wow,
I
this,
think-
you know what this feels like? Feels like a bunch of fucking excuses. Get it the fuck together. You had a lot going on. Yeah, so did WWE. They may have to move SummerSlam because of a pandemic. They lost Sasha Banks 2 days before the show started. They had to figure out if John Cena could get his shit fucking moved around. Fucking Goldberg is 54 years old. Well, guess what, motherfucker? They went in. They fixed the problem. They did the shit with the pandemic. They made it fucking work. They put a fucking show on. But guess what? Because Bianca lost in 26 seconds, there's a problem. No, there was a solution to something that could have been a bigger problem.
Well, I do feel like we're one of the few podcasts out there that actually, we're evenly critical of any company.
Yes, but again, this is a generalized statement that if this was WWE,
oh, well, question.
gun to Vince's head saying, sell the fucking company, you fucking geriatric fuck. At the end of the fucking day, we're sitting there. You have 3 of the executive vice presidents that are wrestling in 2 title matches with 0 build.
Yeah.
This is like PWG light. Like this is like this is like going to a bar and being like, "Can I get a Budweiser?" And the bartender brings you a Bud Light, and then they look at you like you ordered the wrong thing. Like
Right.
I asked for a Budweiser. I wanted the full flavor, not this watered down cheap ass shit that you're charging me $7 for. That's what this feels like. It feels like watered down Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yeah.
There's no storylines for any of this shit. There's no build for any of this shit. At the end of the fucking day, like the match I'm looking forward to the most is not the CM Punk match.
Neither am I.
What's your match?
Tag team match.
Not mine.
Because whoever wins the on Rampage,
Not mine.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
I don't know.
I won't. The match I'm most excited for is Pac versus Andrade. That's the match of this show.
The only reason why I'm not super excited for that match is I don't feel like Andrade has actually been like all that fantastic since he's debuted in AEW.
He's done anything. He's had what, 2 matches, if that?
And those matches weren't exactly great
We
either.
were at his first match actually, down in Miami, which is an okay match. Was it Matt Sydal thing he wrestled, I think, that night?
Yes.
Like I do think that Pac might be able to bring something out of him, and like Lord knows they are both great wrestlers, but I don't I'm excited for that match. It's probably the match I'm like maybe second or third most excited for on paper. And at least it does actually have a storyline that's been built for a while.
Yeah, it's Pac versus Andrade in a ladder match for custody of the Lucha Bros.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joe.
Yeah.
What you love this week?
Oh, I love bedtime. I can't wait for bedtime. Let's see. You want me to make this easy? I'll make it easy. All right, here we go. I forgot. What did I love? Oh my God, I had it in mind earlier. It was, okay. So Becky Lynch, right? You've been out for a while. You had a kid. You've been home taking care of said kid. Now you're back. You're around adults again. You don't have to talk like, who's a... You don't have to change diapers, hopefully. Hopefully you got someone taking care of the kid for you. You get to be back in the adult world, which I think any stay-at-home mom will tell you is just all they really want. So, Becky, I love that for you.
All right, Joe. You still get to that, did you?
I'm tired.
I know you're tired.
Tired an hour and 45 minutes ago.
Okay. All right, let's get to the last topic. It should be a quick one, right? Or something?
Yeah, it should be really quick.
Yeah.
So I was on break from my job the other day. By the way, Ernest, I expect to see you at Orange Theory Fitness tomorrow morning.
Would you shut the fuck up with that already?
For your own good, buddy. So I was on my break, and there's a Barnes & Noble right across the parking lot.
Go around?
There, and I was walking around just trying to kill time because I had time to kill. And I ended up in the magazine section. And to my surprise, I don't know why I was surprised by this, but I was. There's still pro wrestling magazines. They still exist. At the very least, there was still Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which by the way, Danhausen was totally like small on the cover, and it was very nice. It was very evil. So my question to you guys is, because I'm sure at some point, even if you haven't in the last decade, at some point when you were kids, I know when I was a kid, you probably bought some wrestling magazines. You probably bought many wrestling magazines. There were very, very many. I can remember as a kid, I used to love buying like Pro Wrestling Illustrated and stuff like that. I used to really be sold by the magazines where it was like, oh, look, they're covering all these wrestling companies that I never watch. Like, I didn't watch WCW or the NWA or any of that stuff as a kid, but I'd pick up a magazine every once in a while and read about like Sting and Ric Flair and all that and be like, wow, these guys sound awesome. I wish I could like totally watch them. And then, now as an adult, I totally can. But my question to you guys is, what was your favorite pro wrestling magazine? And honestly, this can't even include Dirt Sheets. If you want to put the Wrestling Observer on your list, feel free, go for it. But what's your favorite?
So I was never like a huge magazine guy. I didn't buy much magazines really. What I would do is I'd go to fucking
Except for Playgirl.
Anyway, so I would go to whoever drugstore fucking that had the magazines there, PWI and all that. And I read through the rankings and all that. The only magazine I ever really invested for a short while, for a couple months, was the WWF magazine in the mid '90s, like '96.
Yeah.
Especially when Ultimate Warrior came back, they were pushing Ultimate Warriors, the comic book and all that. So I got a couple editions between like April and July of '96.
Oh, nice.
So that was the one I would say I invested in more than anything else.
Yeah, for me, it would definitely be the WWF magazine. I used to love reading that as a kid. Like, I was actually subscribed to that from probably about like 91 or so until about 95. I would get that magazine in the mail every single month. I would read through the entire thing. I used to love how like everything was kind of in kayfabe terms, in storylines and stuff. You remember they had the one spread where it was like the Ric Flair, Miss Elizabeth photos, like exposing them for what they really were, and it was just like Randy Savage and Elizabeth, and like Ric Flair had just been like photoshopped in before Photoshop was a thing. Like, I love that. I love that you would sometimes see potential feuds that didn't even end up happening. Like, there was one magazine cover that had the Undertaker and Nails face to face on the cover. So it was like, oh man, that's going to be an awesome match. And then like Nails got fired for like butt raping Vince McMahon. So that didn't end up actually happening at the match.
Go ahead, Mike.
So I had a subscription to WWF magazine.
Yeah.
What years?
Like 94 to whenever.
I think I go further back with my subscription. I think I had mine from like 91 or 92.
I mean, I may have had it in like 93 whenever I turned like 4 or 5 years old, but I mean, I was 4.
Child.
So I also had a subscription to the very short-lived WCW magazine in like the late 90s, where it was just like hot garbage. So yeah, I'll always say that my favorite magazine for wrestling literature is the WWE magazine, WWF magazine, followed by the Pro Wrestling Almanacs at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Did you guys ever pick up any of the like After magazines and stuff like that, or are we just too young for that?
No. I saw them, but I never got. No.
I don't know.
Have you ever read an issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated?
Yeah, I've read them before, but not like like one or two like random ones because I saw people I knew on the cover.
Right.
You know what's funny? I feel like the thing that I remember the most from those magazines was the ads inside for the like mail in like what were e-feds before e-feds were a thing. Where like you pick your character and pick his moves and stuff, and like you can mail it in, and like I don't know, you'd somehow win matches or something. It was very confusing. I never understood how it worked, but I remember seeing those ads like every single issue.
Don't you remember? Like my thing was, I would go every week to like the local, at the time it was called Eckerd's. Now it's called. Go there, find a magazine, sit in that little corner for about 20 minutes, and find the rankings, and then find anything that was WWF related. Especially Hogan. During that, what was going on? But beyond that, I never bought the magazines because I didn't feel like I needed to buy it. I just got what I needed, and that was it. WWE, the WWF magazine is the only one I actually invested money into for a good 6 months in '96. But
because I feel like WWF magazine, just like I said, like because it like would fit into the storylines and stuff,
yeah,
kind of made it relevant. Like yeah, like the other
too.
but sometimes they would have the like dream match stuff, like who'd win in a match, Sting or Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan was like never leaving the WWF at that time.
Yeah.
And WCW's got, and like they would break down the reasons why who would win and whatever, and I was always just kind of like, okay, like.
I love also too. They had the rankings for most loved, most hated. So like I remember a long time, like when Savage turned heel in '89, he was the most hated wrestler in 1989, and Hogan, I think Warrior was the most loved in 1989 because he was on sense at the time. Those rankings.
So it sounds like we all agree WWF magazine was where it's at.
Absolutely.
It gave us Russo.
That's right. All right, let's get to the rest of the week before we go. You guys like fading out, so let me get the rest of the week real quick for you guys.
I told you I've been fading out since like an hour.
Mike is 22.
Hello?
Michael.
Michael. I gotta bring up the fucking spreadsheet. Hold on.
You fucking spreadsheet guy.
Michael.
Oh my god, can I just give my top three? I know my top three.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so my number 3 this week is the aforementioned
Phil from Chicago.
You did
I
it.
gotta put Punk on my list because that pop was amazing. I'm excited to see him back in wrestling. Unlike some people on this show, I did actually watch his entire run when it first happened live. Right down to Ring of Honor. I remember when he showed up in 2002 in Ring of Honor. Y'all notice Colt Cabana hasn't been on AEW, by the way? Like,
No, I haven't seen him either. Yeah, Dark Order, nothing.
He was on a video segment with the Dark Order.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was in the background. Him and he was right behind. He was right behind Uno.
Oh, that's funny. Maybe this is all just a ploy to get rid of him. But anyway, he's my number 3 because like I know he didn't wrestle or anything, but that was just a big moment. I got to give him that credit. My number 2 is another return, and the 26 seconds of work that she put in were 26 really impressive seconds. That's Becky Lynch. Welcome back. I'm excited that she's back, and I'm not even the hugest Becky Lynch fan, but I'm actually excited to see where they go with this. And my number 1 is none other than the man who ended the 600 and something odd day title reign of Walter, which you just can't ignore, in my opinion.
Actually, it was longer.
Yeah, it was like 600 and what, like 70 days or something? Huh?
He held the title for 870 days.
Oh, shit.
That's like Hulk Hogan-esque from 84, 88.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's crazy. And I know like there was a pandemic in the middle of it, but I also don't know that Walter would have lost it any sooner, even if there wasn't, to be perfectly honest. But, I got to give credit where credit is due, and that's to Ilya Dragunov, who definitely put on a hell of a show on TakeOver and is going to go back to the UK with that title and hopefully really represent that brand. I'm excited for him. So he's my number 1.
My number 3 is the head of the table, the ting tang walla walla bing bang man himself, Roman Reigns. At number 2, I also have Becky Lynch. Her 26 seconds was a hell of a performance, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And last but certainly not least, the man who broke the 870-day reign of one Walter, and that is Ilya Dragunov.
All right, number 3 for me is the new Raw Tag Team Champions. That is RK Bro. Number 2 is the Woo-Ha-Ha Man, she said, Roman Reigns. And number 1, of course, is the Week of Punk, Summer of Punk. CM Punk, of course, number 1 for me. The pop, everything, the whole fucking internet's gone fucking haywire for the last fucking 8 days. So
870 days is more impressive.
Okay. I'll give you that.
But you didn't even put him in your top 3. You put fucking Matt Riddle and fucking Randy Orton in.
Well, to be fair, I didn't watch TakeOver, so I can't.
Then how can we take your vote seriously if you have a guy who is in yours because of a pop, but you didn't even watch a guy who broke an 870-day title reign?
Maybe I'll put him in next week. Maybe I'll carry over next week. Who knows?
Yeah, okay, bud. Just keep being the AEW mark of the show because you proved your point here, bud.
I have 2 WWE guys on the list.
You put in a guy who didn't even fucking wrestle a match, genius. What the fuck do you mean?
Broke the internet.
Guess what? So did Brock Lesnar, but he didn't make your top 3.
No, Ponytail did it for me. Sorry.
That's valid. That's actually a valid point. Where's Brock on this bitch?
Ponytail.
Becky Lynch broke the internet by beating Bianca Belair in 20 seconds. At least there was a conversation about her being a fucking asshole for beating her in 26 seconds. All we heard from Phil was about ice cream bars and being away for fucking 2,000 days.
I got goosebumps.
Kind of wish I could get an ice cream bar.
The fact that your reference is that you got goosebumps, you also got goosebumps sitting on my couch on Saturday night because my air conditioning was really fucking cold. But my air conditioning unit did not make your top 3. Goosebumps. Oh, fuck kind of.
Wait, can I revise? My number 1 is Logan Christian.
Yes.
Who was the MVP of SummerSlam that night because like his comments just come out of left field and be hysterical.
I think Logan's top 3 would be better than Earnest's.
I actually agree with that.
I very much agree with you on that.
The updated scoring right now through August 26th.
All right, in first place it's the almost superhero because sometimes you got to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Second place is the man, the myth, the legend, the current Raw Tag Team Champion Randy Orton with 11.5 points. And third place is Roman Reigns. He has 11 points. We have a 5-way tie for fourth between Matt Cardona, Malachi Black, Chris Jericho, Christian, and Ilya Dragunov with 10 points. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are tied for 9th with 8.5. Then we have a 5-way tie for 11th place with Big E, Shingo, MJF, Becky, and CM Punk, all with, I want to say it's 7 points.
Where's my guy?
Bobby! He is in a tie for 16th.
All right. Any last thoughts we go?
If you're a wrestling fan and you have nothing to do this weekend and you feel like watching some good wrestling, feel free to buy the double pack off a Fight for NWA for the Empower show, and then the 73rd anniversary show, which has Ric Flair announced to be on it, where Nick Aldis will take on former WWE wrestler Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World Title.
Hasn't Nick Aldis been holding that belt for like 700 days or some shit?
Probably longer.
Jeez.
Well, no, I'm sorry. He did have that like 30-day reign where Cody took the title from him. Hold on.
Yes. But that was in like 2018.
He is the national treasure.
Joe, any final thoughts?
Avoid the clap.
Ooh.
It's good advice.
So Nick Aldis has held the title for. Let me scroll to the bottom real quick. He's held it since winning it against Cody at the 70th anniversary show. He's held the title for 1,038 days. If you take away the 50 days that Cody held the title and add the other 266, he's held the title for over 340 days over the last 390 or 1,090.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
basically, if Trevor Murdoch wins it this weekend, he's probably going to be on the top 3 next week.
Well, the thing is he has said that if he does not win, he will retire.
Who, Murdoch?
Yes.
Jericho.
Yeah, not Bupped Up or whatever the fuck his name was in TNA.
So the rest of the card, Chris Adonis, the former Chris Masters, will take on James Storm for the NWA National Championship. You have Aaron Stevens and Kratos versus Mecha Wolf and Bastia 666 for the tag titles.
Ooh.
Mickie James versus former AEW women's roster member Kylie Ray. For the NWA women's title, it will be either Camille or Layla Hirsch versus the winner of the Women's Invitational Cup, which will be on the day before show of Empower. Then there's a match called the Brawl in the Lou, which is Tom Latimer versus Crimson versus 937-year-old Tim Storm. There's a 6-man tag match between the Pope, Pharaoh, and Odison versus Tyrus, Masked Man, and Jordan Clearwater. And then there is a national championship #1 contenders battle royal, which no one I think has been announced so far.
Are they doing it like in the TV studio, or are they doing it in an actual building?
They're doing it in St. Louis at the Chase, where they used to do a lot of the.
Oh yeah, that's actually awesome.
The card for Empower is, of course, Camille versus Layla Hirsch for the NWA title. Impact Wrestling knockout champion Deonna Purrazzo is defending against Melina.
Oh, okay.
The NWA Women's Invitational Cup, which has the following people in name: Chelsea Green, Tootie Lynn, Jamie Sengel, Lady Frost, Debbie Malenko, Bianca Corelli, Genocide, Masha Slamnovich, and 2 other people that I don't think have been announced. Or one of them is Garrett Hogan.
Wait. Is her name Jenna Side?
JENNACID.
Yes.
Oh, real quick, let's go.
I was so hoping that's what it was when you said that.
Real quick, we go. Because my final thoughts is this: as of right now, this recording, Adam Cole's a free agent. Where's he going?
As of an hour ago?
Well, Friday's free agent, so.
I think if he was going to stay with with WWE, he would have signed with WWE by now.
Right.
I don't think he's made a decision yet. I think Adam Cole's going to get paid, and I think Adam Cole's going to use this as leverage to figure out who's going to pay him the most.
I will say one thing, though. We do know where his girlfriend works.
Yep.
We do know that he also is really good friends with the guys that, run that company.
Yeah.
Do you want to go AEW or no?
What?
AEW is bloated right now. He would just be another person lost in the shuffle.
I don't want him in AEW if his life depended on it.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. That's enough for tonight. I'm done. I'm tired.
Yep. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.